Hello, everybody. I'm David Jerome with the Chamber of Commerce, and today let me welcome all of you on behalf of our board and our community to our State of the County. I particularly love these events because it provides an opportunity for us to make sure that our members, our business members, and our wider community have a chance to interact with the public policy makers that affect our lives so much. So this is the kind of event that I think is just terrific to be able to host, and a real honor. And so I'm really looking forward to getting into that. So a couple of things just to go over today before I make introductory comments about the county and the judge himself. Let me just say a bit on the run of the show today. We'll have a national anthem in just a moment. Then we'll have some remarks by the judge on the past year. Then we'll have some Q&A, which will be hosted by my current board chair, VJ Smith of Marathon Petroleum. And then closing remarks will be made by Arlene Carroll, our incoming board chair with West Star Bank. And with that, what I would like to do is also just remind everybody that part of the proceeds from all these state ofs is going to support the efforts that the Chamber has undertaken with small, medium enterprises during COVID-19. And I think that's a terrifically relevant thing to be doing, obviously, right now, and making a big difference in the community. And we couldn't do it without your support. So I wanted to say thank you for that. And with that, if we're okay, we could have Mr. Castro lead us on the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, that was fabulous. Forgive me as well, Miss Castro. I read my notes wrong, but that was a terrific job, and we're very lucky to have had such a wonderful national anthem. That was just simply lovely. Let me start the event in terms of introductory comments a few ways. First off, obviously during COVID-19, this is a test of everybody's leadership. And I have to say, for the county, the commissioners, and led by the judge, we have seen real leadership, not just simply in the context of supporting business and making sure that our healthcare systems are functioning the way that they are. And I think we're very lucky that we have had the leadership we've had during this crisis, because I think it's been handled largely very well. But I think it's also an opportunity to see the judge as a man, not just as a politician. And we've seen his empathetic special brand of leadership during this crisis. And I think it's been especially called for given the nature of how difficult it has been. So we've been very lucky to have the judge in this place at this time. But I think it's also important not just to talk about the judge who has, clearly a huge amount of experience business-wise, which I think is very relevant at this time too, because it's not just a healthcare crisis, it is also an economic/business crisis. But it's also, I think, maybe I can give no greater tribute to the judge, not just by saying, who he is and reading his whole resume, but which is formidable, I assure you. But I think it's maybe in this case, I want to recount some of the results that we've been able to accomplish with the judge's leadership and assistance during this time. For example, it's quite obvious that the things that we've been able to do with the county, with the judge's leadership around economic development have been huge during this time, especially. Making sure that we have resources and efforts in place to get those resources out to small business and business just in general has been something that we're very proud of that we've been able to do with the judge. Just for example, yesterday we were talking with our board of directors, and we have 20 companies just this month that we're supporting in various ways with the county and the city support to make sure that they don't go out of business. And it's the kind of thing that I think is very gratifying to work on and very gratifying for you to know that's the kind of work that we're doing on the economic development side with the city. Also, not discussed nearly enough, especially during COVID, is we work with the county and the city, but in this case, this is obviously the state of the county. Let me just say that we work with them very closely on military and veterans affairs here in this community. And I'm pointing this out because I think with everything going on, it's sometimes easy to forget one of the largest employers in this area is Fort Bliss. And we've been embarked on a very, I think, excellent reset of our strategy this year. The judge has been intimately involved in that, and it's yielding real results in terms of us making sure that we're thinking about jobs, schools, and quality of life for our troops here in El Paso. To make this a military city, I think, is the judge's vision at some levels, and so a post of choice for the U.S. Army. The other thing that we're doing with the county that I think is important to note as we reflect on the state of the county is we are working with them with UTEP, with Dr. Chowdhury, who has led on aerospace with NASA, the Navy, the Army, and various bits of research out in Fabens and Horizon City. Some really wonderful things have been done there. And we have a group together on defense and aerospace supplier development that I think is just fantastic and already yielding real results. I think we have 4 or 5 companies that are starting up in Horizon City now with the leadership of this group. And I'm very, very proud of it. Michael Hernandez and others have done such a great job as well. So, and we're very pleased to be part of that. And then the final thing I'll say is that in the last maybe decade or two, I'm not aware of us being able to come together as a community with a integrated transportation plan. We've been able to do that with the judge's support and leadership. And that's the first time, as I noted, in a very long time. This sort of list that I've sort of walked you through is a list of accomplishments that would have not been possible without the county's support and the judge's leadership. And so with that sort of introduction, I'm very happy and very proud to be able to transition the podium over to the judge. Thank you.
Great things are seldom accomplished by just one individual.
When you're able to work together as a team, there are no limits to what can be achieved.
Despite this year's challenges, we are proud of the county's victories, achieved by our employees' unwavering dedication and innovative thinking.
We're so honored to showcase these accomplishments with you today.
It's all about teamwork. Welcome to the 2020 State of the County Address. Thank you, my dear friend David Jerome, for your kind words and for coordinating with my office to organize this virtual event. Good morning, everyone. I'm here live from the newly named Enrique Moreno El Paso County Courthouse. I know that my dear friend and mentor is with us right now in spirit. Obviously, this year's event is a little, or should I say, very different from prior State of the County events. Last year, around this same time, we were all enjoying lunch together at the El Paso County Coliseum, which was hosted by the compassionable Brian Kennedy, when I provided you with an update on my first term as your El Paso County Judge. I'm confident that I will see all of you in person next year and we can enjoy a heartfelt meal together. I have to say that it's been encouraging to see so many of our community leaders and visionaries interacting with their constituents and engaging residents by holding virtual forums such as this one. My special thanks to community leaders such as Congresswoman Veronica Escobar and our state delegation for working with us this past year. I don't think that anyone could have predicted that we would find ourselves in an unprecedented public health crisis this year, or any year for that matter, but we adapted, stayed true to our roots, and in typical El Paso fashion, our community came together stronger than ever. When I first issued the county's stay home, work safe order on March 24th, 2020, yes, 6 months ago, it was clear that we as a society would have to adapt to a new kind of normal in order to protect the health and safety of our family, our friends, our neighbors, and the entire El Paso region. As we were recovering from a refugee crisis and in the midst of a healing process of the August 3rd tragedy, we encountered yet another emergency. I must say that I'm truly grateful to have such talented and dedicated public servants working alongside me, as this was truly a learning experience for all of us. During these past few months, first responders, healthcare workers, and both county and city staff have put their personal lives on hold in order to protect the El Paso community. I'd like to take the opportunity to recognize our County Chief Administrator, Betsy Keller. I truly do not know how she manages to be in so many places and meetings at once, and her passion, hard work, and enthusiasm only further proves her love for El Paso and our county family. I must also recognize our fearless county attorney, Joanne Bernal, and her gifted legal team who have helped to guide me every step of the way as we all learn to navigate through this pandemic. There were so many sleepless nights for many of our county departments, especially our legal team. There are no words to express how thankful I am for their support. Of course, I can't forget to recognize Deputy Chief Jorge Rodriguez with the City County Office of Emergency Management, Fire Chief Mario D'Agostino with the city's fire department, Dr. Hector Ocaranza, our local city county health authority, and Angela Mora, our interim public health director, who are still working tirelessly to ensure the well-being of our community. Come on, Mayor Margot, this team deserves a very long vacation. Speaking about Mayor Margot, we developed a unique partnership as we had to stay in very close communication with one another as we worked on our city, county orders. The collaboration between the city and the county have come a long way. Thank you, Mayor, for working with me every step of the way from day one of the pandemic. I'd also like to thank CEO and President of the University Medical Center, Jacob Cintron, and Cindy Stout, CEO of our Children's Hospital, and their entire team for their leadership and commitment to keep El Pasoans safe. As a matter of fact, all of our region's hospitals have been valiantly fighting this insidious virus and trying to save as many lives as they can. Join me in thanking these unsung heroes. First responders such as our Emergency Service District 1 and 2 and county constables and our sheriff's office are out every day working side by side with the National Guard to get residents tested in some of our most vulnerable populations throughout the county. During this difficult time, it has been a true privilege to work alongside my colleagues in the Commissioner's Court. Commissioner Leon, Commissioner Stout, Commissioner Perez, and Commissioner Robinson. I thank you for all your support this past year, as I had to make some really difficult decisions that would impact every single El Pasoan. We have not and will not let our guard down. We will continue to fight and get through this together. My thoughts and prayers are with all those families who lost a loved one due to COVID-19 this past year, and those who currently have a loved one fighting for their life. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my gang of two, Nicole Ruiz and Erica Perales, for their commitment and love for our community. Nicole has been integral to the emergency management response, keeping me informed, relaying information on my behalf, as well as ensuring my concerns for county residents were heard in the process. Erica has helped manage my demanding schedule, kept things organized, and coordinated county meetings for my office. They make it look easy, but I know it's taxing, and I sincerely appreciate them. Although it has been clear that we had many challenges to face this past year, I am so proud of the many successes that our county family was able to accomplish in spite of being in a pandemic. I will be updating you on some of these accomplishments today. To help us get underway, our County Chief Administrator, Betsy Keller, and I had a conversation to discuss the county's vision and mission for the next few years.
Judge, while many would look back at the past year as a time of unprecedented challenges with many hardships, I look back and see a year of triumph through leadership, trust, and unity. It begins with the leadership of Commissioners Court to set high goals and values for the county team. These values include excellence, professionalism, integrity, and creativity. Our team has embraced these values as they set to work to deliver on the goals the court has set for our community.
Thank you, Betsy. Now I'm going to expand on each of the county's strategic goals and highlight the great work that has been done by our team. The work being done by our Criminal Justice Coordination Department has been absolutely innovative, progressive, and timely. None of this would have been possible without our talented and passionate Joel Bishop, our Executive Director of Criminal Justice and Community Services. The Criminal Justice Coordination Department has dramatically improved the system outcomes, putting us ahead of the curve. The department has pressed forward in its vital mission during the COVID-19 crisis as they continue to work in our county jail to provide judges with vital defendant information, as well as continue their mission to provide quality justice services. Recent research conducted by nationally recognized Dr. Tony Fabello shows that the PR bond office had a significant impact on reducing recidivism in the high-risk population from 44% in 2015 to 31% after the reform efforts were implemented. The county is extremely proud to announce this year the Criminal Justice Coordination Department received national recognition by receiving the National Association of Counties 2020 Achievement Award for Pretrial Justice Modernization. This award highlights the county's effort during the past 5 years to revolutionize our pretrial justice system, resulting in a more efficient system, and may I say, without compromising public safety. The jail now houses significantly more offenders of serious felony crimes instead of focusing on small misdemeanors as a result of the reform efforts, which enhances public safety without wasting precious county resources. We're excited to announce that we recently hired a new public defender to lead the county's public defender's office. Join me in welcoming Kelly Childress to the county family. The county's public defender's office has continued to serve the underprivileged even during COVID challenges. They continue to meet with detained clients in the jail and were able to arrange telephonic visits. The public defenders helped to lead the charge toward enhanced bond hearings and helped the collaborative effort to successfully implement their hearings 7 days a week, all of this implemented even during COVID-19 crisis. This year, the public defenders work with the county's community service division and reentry support teams to assist clients returning from jail to the community. The Domestic Relations Office, led by Executive Director Brian Stanley, has been working hard during this fiscal year to continue to provide services to the public while working remotely. Our Child Support Enforcement Division has worked with our partner, the OAG, to work with families to modify child support obligations of parents that have had a substantial change in their income. During this year, they have been able to collect and disperse over $17 million in child support to families. None of these initiatives that I have outlined so far could have taken place without the collaboration between the county and the Council of Judges led by Judge Linda Chu, and Judge Ruben Morales. They have been vital in many of our successes. Many thanks to the Council of Judges for diligently working with my office and our local health authority as all the courts remained open throughout the pandemic by converting many of their courtroom hearings to video conferences. Emergency hearings never stopped, and social distancing and health requirements were implemented by the courts. Despite the devastating impact of COVID-19 on our region, El Paso County has continued to see growth. With the help of our economic development led by Andrea Atkins Hutchins, we welcome new hotels, new manufacturing capabilities, and several large mixed-use facilities. The county invested $3 million in incentives, which in turn resulted in over $100 million in investment in 2020 alone. This past year, the county also welcomed Amazon. Their distribution site will be located outside the city of El Paso in the unincorporated areas of the county. We are more than excited to see their facility open. We look forward to working with them. Through a local partnership, we have seen a continued emphasis on the Mission Trail Plan, enlisting the aid of small cohort of MBA students to develop a plan for the small businesses located along the Mission Trail, working with our County Historic Commission to develop signage and bringing to life such historic assets as Casa Tronquillo and protecting our treasures like Los Portales Museum. But we are working to establish valuable national historic districts to provide residents with the tax credits they need to make their renovation projects become a reality. At the time when we issued the stay home, work safe orders, we were simultaneously working to provide a program which would allow small businesses to access grants, loans throughout the county. Beyond this initial cash infusion, we worked with our many community partners, like those of the El Paso Chamber and the Hispanic Chamber, to provide grants for health and safety upgrades, digital technology, and valuable business coaching to help keep our businesses profitable, adaptable, and safe. The county was able to approve $1 million in funding to establish a relief fund through Lift Fund, a nonprofit geared toward helping small businesses who are struggling due to the pandemic. I cannot begin to express the amount of pride I have for our Public Works Department, which is led by Norma Rivera Palacios and her team of talented visionaries. I'd like to highlight each individual division in her department and recognize our visionaries with you today. Veronica Myers, our Parks and Recreation Director, and her staff continue to go above and beyond with any initiative or event that we dream of. Our Parks and Recreation Department provides a safe, healthy, and enjoyable recreation environment for the citizens of El Paso County by providing a rich mix of cultural, recreational, and social opportunities so the citizens of El Paso and our visitors can enjoy an enhanced quality of life. More now than ever, communities such as ours have seen a huge increase in residents turning to their local parks to assist not only with physical activity, but to take care of their mental health. I'm happy to say that there was literally a bike shortage this year. The increased amount of physical activity this year by the El Pasoans may be the silver lining throughout this pandemic. I'd like to brag that Escarate Meadows Golf Course is recognized as the learning golf course of El Paso, home of the first tee and practice course for EPISD, YISD, and private schools. Very dear to me, the county has partnered with Moms on Board to secure $1 million in funding from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Division to build 3 all-inclusive playgrounds at Escarate Meadows Park, Gallegos Park in Canutillo, and Rissinger Park in Fabens. And we are in the procurement stage of the old Western Playland site to renovate it into a true multi-purpose use space with additional walking trails. This will provide recreational opportunities for large-scale festivals such as Sun City Music Festival and other outdoor events. As you are all aware, this past year we sadly approached the 1-year anniversary of August 3rd. A few days after this heartbreaking event in 2019, I met with my team to discuss the possibility of having a memorial that would provide the opportunity for our entire community to have a place to heal and meditate. This year, we made a wholehearted effort in the midst of a pandemic to honor the 23 beautiful souls that were taken, those who were injured, and all those who suffered from this tragedy. We were still able to break ground on the El Paso County Community Healing Garden and host a special service. I would be remiss not to thank Bishop Mark Seitz and the Interfaith Alliance of the Southwest for organizing the beautiful ceremony they put together for the families. I'd like to recognize Joy Rosales, owner of JR Construction, and David McIntyre of TriWest Healthcare Alliance for their generous contributions to build this memorial. This community healing garden is not only important for the victims of the August 3rd shooting, but also for everyone who was impacted on that tragic day. It will be a beautiful natural green space with water, trees, flowers, and benches. I'd also like to recognize Jennifer Barr from Desert Elements Landscape Design and Gary Williams from the El Paso Community Foundation. Their donation and architect services truly enhanced the project. We hope you were able to experience a drive-through event at Escarate Park on August 2nd and 3rd, which was organized by the United Way of El Paso County. Throughout the park were the remarkable 23 floral silhouettes designed by Suzanne Calhoun of Calhoun Farms. Each silhouette, representing each victim, was dressed with beautiful flowers by florists all the way from Santa Fe to El Paso. Luminarios and lanterns lit up around the park, and the magical 23 beams of light were seen shooting into the beautiful night. I am so blessed to be part of such a compassionate community. We hope you can join us as we are expected to have the unveiling of the community garden by the end of the year. Led by Fernando Hernandez, the Infrastructure Services Department has not wavered in any way during the pandemic. This department has proved to have another successful year by accomplishing our paving program's goal to maintain all of our roadway network by implementing a pavement preservation method to at least 63 miles and or 10% of our network's inventory. Another one of our department's main focuses was to improve on our community's stormwater needs. The department is managing the design of stormwater infrastructure projects that were fully funded by the county. This year, the Infrastructure Services Department's reconstructed approximately 6% of our East Montana water systems distribution system and replaced 16% of our county's residential meters with new modern radio frequency meters as a result of our Vista del Este water distribution project. We were also able to address some maintenance improvements on our water tower located on Buckwheat Road to extend the life expectancy. This water tower provides water to nearly 1,600 residents located within our distribution system. Over the past year, the Planning and Development Department, led by our multi-talented Jose Landeros, has managed the county's emphasis on upgrading infrastructure and improving processes and procedures through a number of initiatives. The county has continued to invest in long-range transportation solutions for major roadways, public transit, and general aviation services across the county. East Lake Boulevard was opened to the public as an advanced 6-lane facility to serve the growing east side, while the county made strides with regional partners to begin expansion of the regional transit service. The Fabens Airport is also currently under renovation through the Airport Capital Improvement Program, funded in part through the Texas Department of Transportation. Our wholehearted thanks to our incredible UTEP partners such as UTEP President Dr. Heather Wilson, Dr. Hassan Shudari, and Ryan Wicker, who have been entrenched in this project. As we have all seen, the majority of the growth is happening in the unincorporated areas of El Paso County, and our goal is to identify and address this growth and to provide urbanized services whenever possible. We can't forget to recognize the leadership of Robin Sully and his Facilities Management Division, as they are responsible for the operation and maintenance of the El Paso County's 1.2 million square feet of facilities. They strive to effectively, efficiently, and expeditiously provide support to all El Paso County departments while maintaining the county's physical assets in a manner consistent with the county's strategic plan. Our facilities department are essential workers during the COVID-19 pandemic. The sanitation and cleanliness of the county's facilities were left in their hands. During this pandemic, their duties and responsibilities became more challenging to include taking the risk of being exposed to the coronavirus. As a Gold Star family member, I am always so honored to be part of an organization that embraces and honors our community's veterans. This year, we were excited to welcome our new Veterans Program Manager, Carl Dwyer, who has hit the ground running during these past few months. Last year, I mentioned the process of commencing a Veterans Needs Assessment for the county in collaboration with the City of El Paso, the El Paso Chamber, and Endeavors. The assessment is the first of its kind in this community with the ultimate goal to identify the top priorities of our veterans. Veterans, family members identified the following services where there was the highest reported need: claims assistance, employment assistance, mental health service assistance, legal assistance, locating veteran-centric social groups, peer support, and financial assistance, paying rent, mortgage, or utilities. Currently, results from the Veterans Needs Assessments are being used to guide programs and resources to best serve our nation's heroes. The El Paso County Veterans Assistance Office continues to provide financial assistance for veterans, veterans' dependents, and surviving spouses through the El Paso County Veterans Assistant Heroes Project. This program provides housing and utility assistance for in-need veterans and their families throughout El Paso County. During grant year 2019 to 2021, the Veterans Office was able to provide assistance to more than 500 clients. Last year, for the first time in the county's history, we began the nomination process to nominate a County Veteran of the Year, and we're proud to unveil the Veterans Wall of Honor. As part of the El Paso County's commitment to veterans, the award recognizes those who have compiled a record of exemplary service as a military member and an outstanding member of our community. Last year, retired U.S. Marine Corps veteran Sergeant Major Robert Way, who served 30 years with the Marine Corps, received the award. Please stay tuned for the announcement of the 2020 Veteran of the Year as Veterans Day approaches. As our world begins to heal from this pandemic, I encourage you to visit our El Paso County Veterans Wall of Honor on the 3rd floor of the El Paso County Courthouse. All of these initiatives enhance my goal to one day honor El Paso County by being recognized as the Veterans Capital of the United States. Our relationship with our veterans, as well as with Fort Bliss, truly merits this goal. I wanted to make sure to highlight one of our newest departments this year, as we created a much-needed animal welfare department led by Lorelei Combs. The department will focus on developing the spay-neuter program, which will significantly reduce the stray and unvaccinated population of dogs and cats roaming in the unincorporated areas of the county, creating a safer community for everyone. The creation of this department will enable us to provide more pet services to county residents while utilizing the fees we collect for our services back into the community with our own shelter. We're extremely proud to say that the county and the City of El Paso mission is to become a no-kill community, as we now take less pets to their shelter while finding fosters and adopters for them instead. Our community service department, spearheaded by Irene Valenzuela, is this region's government response to critical safety net services to our community's most vulnerable residents, whether it's ensuring the elderly receive a hot noontime meal or assisting with rent and utilities to prevent homelessness. Last year, the community service staff, along with other dedicated county professionals, in partnership with the United Way of El Paso County, facilitated the establishment of the El Paso United Family Resiliency Center in October 2019 as a response to the mass shooting event of August 3rd, 2019. They worked diligently with the Office of the Governor to direct the award of $3 million in victim services funds to the United Way of El Paso County to deploy mental health and therapeutic services to the victims, survivors, and family of those deceased, as well as to the community at large. To date, the Family Resiliency Center has provided direct assistance to 112 families who've been affected by the mass shooting event. In this fiscal year, the County of El Paso made a commitment to support our vibrant immigrant community by providing funding to the Community Service Department to hire an immigrant migrant services outreach coordinator. Since her hire on July 27, 2020, our new coordinator, Lori Gonzalez Flores, has already established relationships with migrant services agencies and organizations, has begun to create an inventory of services for our immigrant citizens, created a program pamphlet, web content, and is laying the groundwork for the establishment of a future El Paso County Office of New Americans. They were able to orchestrate curbside contact-free delivery of meals to 3,000 elderly citizens throughout 20 senior center sites that continues to date. In the 6 months of this pandemic, we've provided 360,000 meals to our community's elderly, surpassing our average annual meal distribution figures by more than 28%, while simultaneously growing our program by more than 700 participants. Since October of 2019, Community Service assisted almost 500 families with rent, mortgage, utility, and funeral services, distributing approximately $300,000 in assistance, an increase of 140 families assisted, and $100,000 more from the previous year. I must recognize the work of Susan Goodell, CEO of the El Paso's Fighting Food Hunger. My team and I have spent hours at their food distribution sites this past year volunteering, and it was beyond rewarding. Thank you to Susan and your hardworking team. I've always felt a kinship to anyone with HR background, given that a big part of my career was spent in this field. I'd like to recognize our HR department led by the talented Melissa Carrillo, the county's Chief Human Resources Officer. Our employees mean everything to us. Throughout the year, with the help of HR, we host events that highlight the great work they do every single day. With our court's immense admiration for the county family, our office is continually working to increase wages, diversify our benefits, expand our training programs, and look for other innovative areas of opportunity for our staff. When it comes to wellness, the County of El Paso is committed to improving the health and well-being of its employees and family members through targeted disease-fighting strategies, education, and activities that support healthy lifestyle changes. In 2020, our health and wellness program competed nationally with the Aetna Life Insurance Company for one of 3 award levels: gold, silver, or bronze, that recognizes plan sponsors who show an ongoing commitment to a healthier workplace. We are proud to announce that we were awarded the Gold Award, which celebrates organizations for making a difference in the workplace. Working side by side with my office, our HR department was instrumental in the creation of the county's Reconstitution of Operations Plan, more commonly known as ROOP. This plan encompasses various components to provide the framework for continuing or reconstituting various county operations with a focus on mitigating the spread of COVID-19. This document helped to guide many organizations and entities throughout the region as they plan to safely go back to the work site. Without a doubt, our medical examiner's office had yet another challenging year. They were a most crucial department following the attack on our community on August 3rd, and once again needed to show their strength this year as they worked alongside our hospitals to respectfully care for those who came into contact with the virus and unfortunately did not make it. I could not recognize them enough for their perseverance during these past 2 years. There's no one with as much spirit as our Budget and Fiscal Policy Director, Wally Hargrove. Our budget team helped to guide us with a successful adoption of a fiscally responsible county budget for fiscal year 2020-2021 that continues to meet the needs of our growing community. Our priorities remain to be focused on improving our road infrastructure and mobility projects, strategically replacing our capital equipment without engaging in costly new debt renovating our county facilities and investing in our employees through health and retirement benefit contributions. This department, along with our purchasing department led by Deborah Carrejo Troll, was instrumental in coordinating efforts to ensure that adequate supplies of PPE are on hand to protect our employees and the public in an effort to mitigate the further spread of the virus. Despite all the challenges faced this year, Hopeton Staple, our fleet manager, continued to find ways to be progressive and innovative. His team worked tirelessly without interruption to ensure that over 400 plus law enforcement vehicles within the sheriff's office and constable's office remained on the road, continued to make public safety a priority, and El Paso one of the safest cities in America. Even with overwhelming challenges, the fleet department kept all essential services, vehicles, and equipment mission ready, resulting in a successful paving season, street maintenance, and numerous other public works projects to include maintenance of the world-class golf course, sport parks, and numerous rural parks for our citizens. As we adapted to working remotely, we would not have been able to make the transition so smoothly if it weren't for our Chief Information Officer, Christopher Stathis, and his team of tech wizards. ITD was able to transition thousands of employees to Microsoft Teams application in 4 short weeks. This rapid move to virtual attendance allowed county departments to continue communicating with each other and with the public while separated. Also, ITD was able to fully transition to the virtual streaming of the Commissioner's Court and many other meetings in a matter of weeks. These virtual meetings included allowing live streaming via YouTube, insets for sign language interpreters, and the use of a toll-free number for citizens to participate directly in these meetings. These meetings are recognized as a model for other entities. Many thanks to Miguel Mendez and Alexis Ortiz for all their hard work this year as we relied heavily on their expertise and creativity. Well, this concludes my presentation today. There are so many organizations I want to recognize and so many initiatives that I would love to share, but I'm glad I was able to share our county story with you here today. Thank you again for allowing me to show off how incredibly proud I am of our county team this year. Well, no one could have expected what 2020 was going to bring. The passion and the dedication of our community will make us that much stronger. Un abrazo virtual a todos.
Judge, thank you very much. I think we need to correct your audio there. Can you hear us? Yes, I think we can hear you now. Can you hear us?
I sure can. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Judge. And in your honor, the ball just was passed by David over to me, and we appreciate the fact that your leadership really brings a lot of partnership and bringing together of different groups. And so appreciate what this basketball symbolizes in your mind and what it means to all of us. Thank you very much for your partnership with the Chamber. I can think of some key areas where we're supporting one another that we're so very proud of: economic development, the military and veterans affairs work, and then transportation, just to name a few. Thank you so much. We wanted to kick off some Q&A with you at this point in time. You referred to the partnership with the city and that strong working relationship that you fostered, and the Mayor Margot has also been very vocal about that. Could you give us specifically some areas or arenas of that relationship that you're most satisfied with? And then secondly, what are some opportunities to grow that relationship deeper and areas to grow it?
Absolutely, Vijay. When you come into a situation like a pandemic, there's definitely no time, no opportunity for fragmentations, for leadership not getting along and not working together. It is a disservice to our community when leaders are at ends in such a difficult situation. So the opportunity to work with the city and the mayor from the get-go was very important. More precisely, the order. We both have an order, you know, by the mayor and myself, we produce an order. And if those orders weren't in alignment, then that situation of not having the alignment would commence. So we worked long hours with their legal team and Bernal, my legal, incredible, very talented team that they have. We had to work on alignment of the order to give more consistency. You might not know, but some of the other counties in Texas were having difficulties between the mayor and the county judges trying to figure out what they were going to do. We had our own panic at the beginning. We didn't understand what we were getting into, but we quickly moved forward. Not only with them, but every agency, we get so many accolades throughout the country about how our law enforcement, all our agencies work together. So this collaboration with the public health, Dr. Ocaranza, Chief Rodriguez, and everyone else became, I would believe, one of the most important things that we did. I know it's very sad, and we have a lot of deaths that took place, but I really feel, very profoundly feel, had we not worked together, I think we would have suffered much more consequences because of our dynamic relationships at the border with Doña Ana County. We worked together very well in order to address some of the challenges that we had at the beginning, that we continue. We're continuing to move forward. As you could see, our numbers didn't look good today. Our capacity at the hospital is going, we're at about 23%, 15% would put us in an alarm situation. And we have heightened ICUs right now. We have much more than we had in the past couple of months. All of this put together means that we cannot drop our guard. We have to continue working forward. But the true relationship is not only between the mayor and myself and the legislators, which has been incredible, all legislators, Senator Rodriguez, Congresswoman Escobar, but with our community. The best partnership that we can have is with our community. If our community responds properly, we're gonna move a lot more efficient, a lot safer, and then we'll be able to open the economy, not in a risk type of way, but in a very collaborative manner.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you again for the cohesion you bring, and believe me, it's noticed and it's greatly appreciated. We have some questions coming in that I want to go ahead and read to you from the Q&A listed as anonymous here, but I think this is a good question. The recent news of Amazon bringing a distribution center to El Paso has been met with great support across the region. What can the county do to entice similar operations to move to El Paso County? Any thoughts there?
I've always felt the city has done a great job on the downtown area in trying to bring that attention to El Paso. Our main focus is to make the rural areas as comparable as the city. Having access to good parks, access to transportation, really allows more opportunities. When a company wants to come in, and I've been involved tremendously, great people like John Barella from Borderplex and other like Workforce Solutions with Leila Melendez, when we try to bring companies in, it's the whole package. It's not the downtown, it's not the rural, it's a community combined, everyone working together that allows companies to feel good about being here. One of the things that allows us to do what we do and get that attraction from businesses is that we're a safe city. That doesn't happen easily. We have a tremendous sheriff's department. We have a tremendous police department that work together to keep this community safe. Our schools also, there's a lot of emphasis now. We've got great schools, Fabens Independent School District, Clint, Socorro, and so forth, are also part of this. When a company wants to come into any community, they look at the schools as one of the primary foundations for us to be successful. If they see that we don't have the right schools, that we don't have the right culture, we don't have the right tourism, we don't have the right community, they're hesitant. So far, I think they're pretty excited, not only about the things that I've mentioned, but we happen to have one of the best workforce that I can believe in. I've been in HR, I've been around the country, worked in different HR situations. El Paso brings forth one of the best workforces that you can imagine. They're highly motivated, they're high achievers, and they're very appreciative and very unentitled. And that's, I think, what we could do. The infrastructure, of course, is very important. We're working on a lot of infrastructure, the roads, the bridges, and so forth, that are very important. So all of these, putting them together, make us very attractive. So the rural areas and the county plays a huge, huge part in partnering with the city to be successful in bringing companies into our area.
Thank you, Judge. Well, we've got various levels of questions all over the map, but I think this is a great one. How will the county proceed with the Tornillo port of entry? Are there any levers the county can push to encourage Mexican development on their side of that port?
That's a great question, because it's something, it's almost like the white elephant out there. We thought it was going to be something that was very successful, but we need to create the infrastructure on both sides of the border. Our relationship, I was able to go with the chamber to Mexico City and talk to them about their side of the formula. It's not just us creating infrastructure, but it's also Mexico creating infrastructure. There also has to be policy changes, which I'm sure Congresswoman Escobar would help us tremendously on that. And that is that right now, the flow is into the Cordova, or what we call the Free Bridge. As we go into that, movement there is very strong, so it's very difficult for anyone to go there and then come back to Tornillo. So some policy changes, better relationship with Mexico, and creating the right infrastructure. I think Santa Teresa is a good benchmark. They've done a great job. Jerry Pacheco, people like them that have been working on these areas, make it more, more feasible and more efficient for them to pass. Right now, we're more isolated in the Tornillo area, but I can tell you that has to be something that's so important to El Paso that'll move traffic along, going to Dallas and San Antonio and those areas a lot more efficient. That'll stop some of the amount of traffic that crosses through the other bridges. So it is a very pivotal point that will make us a much better community and a much more, more interesting to the logistics component of moving traffic.
Great, thank you so much. You know, we're limited on time and wish we could get all these questions out. There's some really good ones in there. One of the other questions we had, and the chamber had specifically, there's a lot of small and medium enterprise that exists within the city limits that could expand to the county. What's your sense of the strategy to encourage those moves just in the business realm? You spoke to some of the other parts of encouraging things happening out in those areas, but just wanted to ask strictly from a business standpoint.
Yeah, as you know, I'm very excited about business. Small businesses represent such a powerful force in our community. You put them all together, the impact they have, not only on our economy, the number of people they hire, is extremely important for our community. We had a special session last week, a press conference where we talked to all these organizations, the chamber, of course, a tremendous job that they do, Hispanic Chamber with Cindy as well. Ramos, and she's really focused on small businesses. We have the LIFT program. As you see, a lot of our focus is on helping the recovery of small businesses. We also understand the technology component is very important. And we found out, we learned a lot. We've learned a lot from COVID-19. And one of the things that we learned is that the technology in some of the small businesses was really behind the curve, and were not able to adjust and respond quickly to the situation. A lot of money didn't happen, or funds didn't get to them because they weren't aware of what was available. So one of the things that we're trying to do as much as we can is try to get that technology into all the rural areas. The rural areas begin sort of marginal, and some of them were hurt, but probably worse off than any of the other areas, and we're addressing them as well. But one of the things that's important is we have to communicate. We have to get that communication out there. We have to get that vision out there to all the areas. As you saw on the census, as by the way, today's our last day. We're struggling a little bit. We need to get going on the census today, for our last day, and that last punch that we need to get everybody to complete the census. We had a difficult time getting the census completed in some of the far-reaching areas of the community. So just like the small businesses, we're just not reaching enough individuals quickly enough, and technology is going to be the answer. And we're really focusing a lot of our efforts on funding small businesses, but also making sure that they have the technology that is required to be successful.
Thank you so much, Judge. I'm going to give the wrap-up duties to Miss Arlene Carroll. West Star Bank is a tremendous community partner, as everybody knows, and I'm so excited to be passing the baton to one of their top leaders, Arlene, as our incoming 2021 board chair of the chamber. So I'll go ahead and give you the basketball ceremoniously, Arlene, and let you.
Thank you, VJ. I wish I could catch it. I'm catching it virtually. So on behalf of the El Paso Chamber, I want to thank you, Judge Samaniego, for your participation in this morning's State of the County. Thank you for your outstanding leadership during this last year, which has been one of the most challenging and trying times our community has ever faced. The Chamber enjoys the close working relationship that we have with the county, and we are looking forward to collaborating with you and your staff in any way that we can to help our business community recover. El Paso is a resilient, close-knit community, and with our joint efforts, we can help our businesses to continue to recover, grow, and prosper. I am really looking forward to working with you and your staff next year as the incoming chair of the El Paso Chamber. I would also like to thank our star sponsors for supporting this morning's event. Please stay for a few moments after this session to review our list of sponsors. Once again, thank you, and make it a great day.
Thank you, Arlene. You're a great partner. Rick Francis is also a great partner in this community. We thank him for everything that he's doing to make that we're almost there, right, in that building. So thank you.
Thank you.